eye issues, a lot of acne on the face. I forgot to mention this last week, on the face and on the back, specifically teenagers, young youth. So they get to have this a lot, and also adults. So that worsens allergy symptoms. And this is why milk consumption is associated with a lot of recurrent childhood problems such as ear infection, eczema, chronic bronchitis, sinus conditions, and the list goes on. So, as I recapped in less than a minute what we spoke of for a whole 30 minutes last week, I am going to tell you now how doctors go by when it comes to diagnosing lactose intolerance and milk allergy. All right, so they're able to differentiate the symptoms right away and tell you, but they may ask you for a food diary to write down what you've been eating throughout a week and see if there's a specific pattern. They might ask you to avoid dairy for a while. They might then ask you to reintroduce it and see if there are any symptoms you're feeling again. And if the doctor suspects anything, there are lab tests that can help make the diagnosis, clearer. And there are mainly 3 lab tests I want to talk about. You have what you call the hydrogen breath test. So this is basically undigested lactose, so the sugar in the milk that hasn't been digested, usually produces high levels of a gas called hydrogen in your breath. So doctors can diagnose lactose intolerance by measuring this hydrogen level after you drink a lactose-loaded beverage such as milk, and then they can ask you to, exhale and breathe on that tester. That's one. Number 2, you have the stool acidity test. So undigested lactose as well, it also increases the amount of acid in the stool. So doctors may use this test to diagnose lactose intolerance in young children. And then you have, which is very commonly known, the food allergy testing. So if your doctor suspects a milk allergy, you may be sent, to an allergist for skin testing, a specialist, and have a blood sample drawn from the lab for the laboratory allergy testing. So these are the 3 ways. I'm opening the lines for you guys right now. I will be continuing on this discussion, but I always would love to see what you have to say here on Nigeria Info 0700-993-993-993. Please do interrupt me, Zainab, if I am receiving any calls, as you are in charge of that right now. Okay? All right. So, yes, go ahead. Some babies do. I can tell you from my experience, my 3 kids were lactose intolerant, and they had they would cry a lot of crying, although they were fed, they were changed, everything. And when I switched to lactose-free milk, I could see a huge difference in their behavior. So sometimes you can know from the stool test as well. If you can do some stool testing, if they have a lot of diarrhea, that could be a sign that they're not digesting the milk as well. So yes, it is possible. And you do have to see a doctor or a pediatrician to make sure that you are really nailing the problem and not just figuring it out on your own, and it doesn't turn out to be milk the problem.
Okay, so how do you tell when such child is behaving? When the child is bringing on...
that's the thing. It's a mother thing. For me, my child was, as I was saying, my child was fed, my child was changed, my child has slept, and my child was always crying constantly, whether I carried him or her. You can feel as a mother when your baby is in pain. And it's usually when they're in pain, suddenly they start crying. It's not like there's a gradual increase in volume in the crying, and, because they're just not getting you just feel that suddenly they go, wow, or you can know. And of course, with the help of the pediatrician, you can know from all the symptoms. So I do suggest if anyone out there has suspicions of their kids or their babies having any issues with milk, do see a pediatrician, you see a dietitian or a doctor, whoever can really professionally help you and give you good advice.
Okay. So Carla, do you think it's very important to call out the numbers once again?
Yes, I'm going to say the numbers once again, 0700-993-993-993. We do have a WhatsApp number. Sorry, I don't know it by heart, Zainab. I'm sure you can share that right now.
Okay, so the WhatsApp number to call is 0. I'm trying to get it as well because I don't know it. Yeah. So the WhatsApp number to call is 090 0809 597 5805. 0809 597 5805. Then we have the female numbers to call: 01 465 7190.
All right. So whoever's listening out there, please do call, share your comments, questions, anything you would like to put on the table. And meanwhile, I'm going to shift to our focus right now, which is what is the treatment for that? Is there a treatment? Is there a solution? That's the question I get, the question I get most often. So there's no current medical treatment that can really correct lactose intolerance, because it's simply that you have a deficiency in producing those enzymes. So the only way to really prevent those symptoms is to either avoid milk and dairy or consume it only in very small quantities. Once again, it all depends on how strong your intolerance is. Some people just can't tolerate it at all. Some people, if they have like cheese once in a while or a bit of milk in their tea, they can. It's really something that has to do with your own bio-individuality.
Carla, we have a call.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Adela is my name. And
hi, thanks for calling.
I have a son that has, I used to believe it's lactose intolerant because he can't tolerate milk. He was able to breastfeed. I breastfed him for 6 months. And after that, by the time I introduced milk to him, it was, in fact, that day his whole skin was like blushing, like pink. What is that? And he's a Nigerian, he's a fair boy anyway. So since then, I just discovered he can't tolerate milk. He can't. Once he takes it, he must throw up, he must vomit. So all I do is just try to avoid milk in his food by all means. He can't take ice cream. He can't take all those treats, anything that contains milk. So the way we'll be managing it, I'm not really taking him to any pediatrician to find out what to do. I don't know if I should, if you advise that I should, but we'll be managing it this way.
How old is the child? How old is the child?
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
How old is the child?
Hello.
How old is your child?
The child is 9 now. We're 9 by July.
Yeah. It's fine. Thanks for calling. I'm going to answer that quickly, Zainab. I hope
we
you
have
can
another.
hear me.
Yes, we have another call.
Let me just answer that question. Thanks for calling. Thanks for sharing that.
I just want another call. Sorry.
All right. Let me take this call and then I'll answer both questions at the same time. Hello.
Hello. Speak on.
Hello. Good afternoon, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
go ahead.
All right. This is Wale. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Hi, Wale.
Please, I have this invasion of pimples and acne on my face. It started about almost a month ago, and ever since it's keep graduating to, I can't take it anymore. And people keep asking me, what am I doing? Or what have I been eating that is different from what I've been doing before, because it's getting to a worse stage and I don't know what to do.
All right. Wale,
Hello?
Have you changed anything in your food intake for the last few months?
Hello?
Yes, Wale. I don't think he can hear me, Zainab. I think we have to solve this situation eventually. Can you ask him if he's...
Hello, we can hear you. We can hear you. Your question has been taken down.
Yes. Can I... Is he still online? Hello? All right. Okay, Wale, I wish I could ask you questions to get more information on that. Let me answer Wale first. I wish I could find out what you've been eating before. Is there anything? And it's normal that everybody asks you what has changed in your food intake, in your lifestyle, in your routine, for acne to come out. Now, most of the time it's hormonal, but I don't know if you're a teenager or you're into adulthood. I can't get that information yet. But most of the time, dairy can produce acne. And when I'm saying dairy, it's not just milk, it's cheese, it's yogurt, it's cream. So I would suggest, if you think or you suspect it could be that, then stop it for a month and see how you feel, definitely. For the lady who called earlier, sorry, I forgot the name. Child is 9 years old, so milk is not necessarily a health food for human beings once they are weaned as infants. So if you are worried about milk, like you're not giving your child the milk, you shouldn't. However, you do need to make sure your child is consuming an adequate amount of calcium. So as I placed on my Instagram page at Balance with Carla, you will see local ingredients that you can find. I'm not going to give you fancy names of foods that you keep on reading maybe on the internet to find, and they're expensive and they're not maybe found locally easily. But I can tell you that if you feed your child a lot of green leafy vegetables, whether it's ugu leaf, spinach, bok choy, or you feed your child akara beans, so it's also known as the black-eyed peas, canned fish such as Titus or sardines with the bones, tangerine, orange, fortified cereals that have enriched calcium in them. Watch out for the sugar, though, in those cereals. Fortified non-dairy milks like soy, almond, rice, coconut milk. Also, popo. And you can supplement. There is no need to worry about calcium not being, milk not being there in the diet. There's one thing I want to share, Zaina, before I take more calls. And it's about how many people think that like milk is a very necessary ingredient in our diet, and that it's something that we all have to drink, specifically children, for them to grow up. And you have all these multi-million-dollar campaigns of the dairy industry that make you feel that if you're not drinking milk, you are really destroying your bones. Well, let me put it this way. Milk is not necessary for the health of human beings once they are weaned as infants. Now, inhabitants of Asian countries such as Japan, in which animal milk is very rarely consumed, they actually tend to perform better than countries where milk is a staple food on virtually any measure of health, including longevity, osteoporosis, and the freedom from cardiovascular disease. So that makes you think that these people have no milk as their staple food. How come? Most of countries where the consumption of milk is very high have also high rates of osteoporosis. So that makes you think, so why am I drinking milk in the first place? Once again, we're talking about adults here. Once you're weaned as an infant, there are many other ways to get your calcium. People are always worried about the calcium, because that's what we've been brainwashed to think by all those ads out there that make you think that you need to have your cup of milk or your glass of milk every day. Are we taking more calls, or shall I go on, Zainab? Okay. So once again, conventional treatment, there isn't really one. If you have lactose intolerance, there's one thing you can do, though. And for the lady who called earlier about her child, I do this for my child. It works. It depends on how intense the intolerance is. You can actually buy lactose enzymes known as lactase. They come as tablets. So you can give your child, if your child really wants to have that ice cream or really wants to have that cup of milk and is really wants to. I can tell you that there is lactose-free milk, but it's very expensive and it's imported. You'd be wasting your money, because you can do the same thing by buying lactose enzyme tablets known as lactase tablets.
Carla, we have calls.
Let me finish this, Zainab.
Okay.
And feed your child lactase tablets before consuming dairy, or add lactase drops in the regular milk you use, the powdered milk, you mix it with water, or the UHT milk, and let it stay in the fridge for 48 hours and let the lactase do its job and digest the lactose before your child takes it in. Let me take the next caller. Hello.
And then we lost the call.
I hope they can hear me, though, Zainab.
They can hear you. They can hear you.
So this is one thing you can do. The pills are typically taken, before eating foods that contain milk or milk products. Now, bear in mind that's not the case for milk allergy, because milk allergy has nothing to do with lactose intolerance. It's just that you're allergic to milk. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Tabulaba from Florida.
Yes, I'm going to need you to higher your voice and lower the volume of your radio or whatever it is you're listening to.
But we have another one.
Hello?
Okay. It's also got, okay, we have another one. Okay.
Good afternoon.
We have a comment here.
Yes, go
WhatsApp.
ahead.
This is Tosan. She says, good afternoon, Carla and Zainab. My mom has been lactose intolerant for over 60 years. When she was a baby, she didn't take milk even when her mom fed her breast milk. She would throw up throughout the whole day. She would even stool for some days. It was when she became older and traveled to the UK that the doctors told her she was lactose intolerant. Due to this, she doesn't take milk, dairy food, chocolate, or stuff that has milk in it. From Tosan. Yes.
Tosan, thank you for sharing. I am so grateful you shared and you showed people that even your mom at 60 is very healthy without milk, because many people think that, milk is like the magic food. It is the magic food for babies. Don't get me wrong. Breast milk is the best food for babies. And of course, formula milk for babies, infants. But by the age of 2, 3, that's it. Specifically 3, let me put it this way. Your child can go without milk. Okay, specifically if they have an intolerance or an allergy.
Yes,
Hello?
we have some callers.
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, hello.
This is Peter from Ikorodu. Your
Hi, Peter.
Instagram has to that caller. You have to spell the name. Hello?
Yes, we're listening.
We're listening.
Spell your name. Caller, is it CALLER? That your Instagram handle. You want to have it.
Okay. Carla, your Twitter, your Instagram
All right.
handle.
So I guess all that is because I didn't share my Instagram handle. I'm not too sure why Peter is in a bad mood, but I'm going to take it as a positive thing that he's very anxious to know what my Instagram handle is. So at Balance with Carla, Peter. So you can go on that and check what the slides are about and more information on that. Hello?
We have no other caller at the moment.
All right.
But we have just 2 minutes before the end of
All
the
right.
show.
So let me try and end this very quickly. There is so much to say about it. I don't know how I'm going to end it very quickly. But once again, all I can say is know that Nigerians are predisposed to lactose intolerance. It's more common than you think. If you do suspect it, check out the symptoms, check out the options you have on the Instagram page. And please, if you do think that this is your case, check with your healthcare professional, whether it's a pediatrician for your child or your own medical doctor, family doctor, what have you. You can always find out. And maybe all those symptoms you've been feeling, the discomforts, the gas, the bloating, they will just go away because you can finally know if you are lactose intolerant or not. Thank you for listening up. Thank you for tuning in. Zainab, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Would you like to have the last call?
One more call.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Spell the name. The two this thing. Spell it. Hello?
All right. Peter, it's at Balance with Carla. BALANCE with Carla. CARLA. You can go on Facebook. You can go on Nigeria Info Instagram page. We are streaming there. We have our handles there. You can always find it there. Okay? All right. Thanks for having me, Zainab. Until we meet again next week, thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.